मैं जगदीप धनखड़ ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा, उसके कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक निर्वहन करूंगा।
माननीय सभापति जी,
Parliament is the essence of democracy. Parliament is the north star of democracy. पूरा देश हमसे उम्मीद रखता है, देश हमसे उम्मीद रखता है कि राज्यसभा में डिबेट हो, डिस्कशन हो, neither this side nor this side can afford to engage into any transgression whatsoever. It is my bounden duty to ensure order in the House. The one sitting in this chair has authority, and that authority is by way of constitutional obligation.
Stalemates, protests and disruptions. The first part of 259th session of the Rajya Sabha was replete with scenes of political sparring between the opposition and the Treasury benches on various issues. In every instance, Chairman Jagdeep Dhankhar tried to broker truce between the two sides, often invoking rules and reminding eminent members that disruptions are antithetical to the grace, decorum and sublimity of the upper house.
Please take your seat. I expect the members to observe decorum in the House and maintain order. I appeal to the honorable members. I appeal to the honorable members to maintain order so that the listed business of the House may be taken up.
While in some cases, some members did pay heed, there were many other occasions when the rules were plainly disregarded and the chairman's exhortations were ignored.
I have got a lot of inputs from students. I do not wish to share with the House. They say, how is it that every day you are saying the same thing and there is continual disregard? What I am asking for, one second. The House stands adjourned to meet at 2:30 p.m. on 2/23.
Pained by the developments, Jagdeep Dhankhar, as the Vice President of India and Chairman of the Upper House of Parliament, has called on ordinary people to generate a climate and public opinion against such conducts in the temple of democracy.
We are there in Rajya Sabha and Parliament to facilitate that the destiny of the nation is on right track. We have to exemplify our conduct, which everyone can emulate, which everyone can follow. We don't want our boys and girls to follow disruption. No. We don't want them that they must appreciate shouting of slogans, showing of placards, and therefore my appeal to you. Generate a climate, generate public opinion, use every medium that is available so that we persuade, we plead, with folded hands, request our parliamentarians that in the temple of democracy, our conduct must make us proud. Our conduct must be for development of the country.
He has clarified that his appeal is not partisan and is not concerning stakeholders in politics, but for the welfare of the nation.
But what were these instances that caused the Rajya Sabha chairman deep anguish and forced him to resort to making a public appeal for efforts to contain parliamentary disruptions. Let's take a look.
Days after President Draupadi Murmu's address to the joint sitting of Parliament, the upper house took up the discussion on motion of thanks. Amid the protests and interruptions, opposition members made their point through impassioned speeches that, on many occasions, called for the chair's rulings, interventions and caution. During the speech of the leader of opposition, Chairman Dhankhar was forced to remind that an elevated constitutional position is expected to raise the level of debate.
There are certain positions on which we have to have great regard. It was in this house, on 8th December I said, when leader of the house will speak, leader of the opposition will speak, and the two former prime ministers will speak, I will look to the rule book later. Why? These positions have august stand. I said so. Similarly, we cannot treat institutions with that kind of observation. You are a very senior member, sir. If anyone in the house, one second, if anyone in the house was to use an expression for LOP, I would come to the rescue of LOP. It's an elevated constitutional position.
After finding certain portions of the leader of opposition speech not acceptable, Chairman Dhankhar expunged them in the light of rules framed by the House. The chairman was also constrained to voice deep concern over some aspersions that were cast against the chair. Chairman Dhankhar observed that not only were the leader of opposition's remarks severely inappropriate, but also indicated a lack of faith in democracy. He further implored leaders across the political spectrum not to subject high constitutional offices to partisan stances.
I request you took the floor and you have indicated in so many words that the chair is acting under the pressure. These are expunged. You are forfeiting your right to hold the floor. This can't be done. No, sorry. Nothing will go on record. Every time you make an allegation, chair is acting under pressure. How can that be countenanced?
In the course of the debate, Prime Minister Narendra Modi replied to the motion of thanks on President's address. That was accompanied by persistent protests by the opposition members. Deeply anguished, the chairman once again exhorted the members to be mindful of the rules and the decorum of the House.
उसके पास था, मेरे पास गुलाल, जो भी जिसके पास था, उसने दिया उछाल, और अच्छा ही है, जितना कीचड़ उछालोगे, कमल उतना ही ज्यादा खिलेगा.
When the Honorable Prime Minister of the country addressed, and his reply was to one of the most important aspects of our constitution, and that was reply on a motion of thanks for the Honorable President. So it was under extraordinary situation, and after all my pleadings failed.
The unrelenting mood of opposition cast a long shadow on the proceedings of the session. It was no different when it came to the notices of amendments to the motion of thanks on the President's address. These amendments are circulated to members in advance and moved when the chair formally puts the motion to the House for discussion.
Now, there are 119 amendments to the motion which may be moved at this stage.
However, some members were not present in the House when their amendments were moved.
Amendments number 114 to 116, Honorable Sri Javed Ali Khan ji, absent.
Absence in such an instance could indicate only disregard for the rules. and perhaps even for the dignity of the chair.
Absent on the day of admission. But yeah, you were absent on the day of admission. Please take your seat first. I'll respond. Please take your seat. Take your seat. Honorable member, this is not the way. The honorable member was absent at the time when the admission issue was determined.
Many of the opposition members trooped into the well of the House on several occasions. The chairman pointed out to them that they were senior members who knew well the rules of the House and what constituted propriety of conduct. The authority of the chair was also called into question by some senior members through unseemly gestures.
Take your seat. All of you take your seat.
Everybody want to speak without giving any notice, without sticking to the rules and regulation. That's the problem. That is the problem. And they want the chair, they want the speaker to listen to him or listen to her. Definitely, as being a lawyer, he will have to stick to the rules and regulation of the parliament. So he will not allow and should not allow everybody to have his or her own way. And if he has taken any action, that's right action. I think that has to be done. If we have to bring some discipline inside the parliament, we cannot tell every countryman to have a discipline and do not act ourselves.
Chairman Dhankhar made fervent appeals to the members to respect constitutional ideals and values. He also cautioned members on numerous occasions, warning them that they will be named for disrupting the proceedings of the House. But he refrained from taking any stern action.
सुनिए मुझे मजबूर मत कीजिए.
Amid such aberrational behavior, Congress MP Rajni Ashok Rao Patil was found responsible for recording and tweeting a video from inside the upper house.
The decision of the presiding officer cannot be challenged. As far as video recording is concerned, the chairman in the past have prohibited it. In recent past, the former chairman, Honorable Venkaiah Naidu, had on a couple of occasions done so.
Blatant and flagrant disregard for the rules of the House, and such actions only bring disrepute to the entire August House and to the entire members of this House, and to your chair, sir. I would urge your good self to kindly name the member who was involved in this act, and appropriate actions befitting the disregard for the directions of the chair, befitting the breaking of the rules of this House, should be taken out in this case.
Congress MP Rajni Ashok Rao Patil was suspended from the Rajya Sabha for the remainder of the budget session on grounds of parliamentary misconduct. Taking a serious view on the matter, the Rajya Sabha chairman called it an unwholesome activity on her part.
Before I do that, taking note of very significant enlightening response and reference by the leader of the opposition, the entire matter will be probed by the Privileges Committee. And till we have the benefit of the recommendation of the Privileges Committee for consideration of this August House, going by the situation and what I've seen, I don't wish to be judgmental, none in the House can be at the moment. But a strong prima facie situation has emanated. Shrimati Rajni Patil Ashok Rao is suspended for the remaining period of the current session.
False accusations, mendacious statements, and callous barbs all equally undermine the prestige of the upper house of Indian Parliament. As custodian of the rights and privileges of the House and its members, Chairman Dhankhar categorically said that any allegation made on the floor of the House will have to be substantiated with authentic documents.
While you will be heard with rapt attention, we will hear everyone in the House with decorum and rapt attention. But bear in mind, if you make any assertion which is in the nature of free fall of facts, you shall be called upon to authenticate the documentation and substantiate the same by laying the same on the table of the House.
Thank you.
This House cannot be a platform for free fall of information. One can't add anything one likes. Every allegation will have to be authenticated.
Rule 267 of Rajya Sabha has been very sparingly used in the last 20 years. But on this too, Chairman Dhankhar assured the members that he will not hesitate to suspend the scheduled business of the House under Rule 267, even daily if need be, if their notices qualify on merit. He also asserted in the same breath that he will not invoke the rule even once during his entire tenure if the notices are devoid of merit and rules. Chairman also welcomed the members for further clarification in his chamber.
Honorable members may go through Rule 267 and the ruling from the chair on 8th December and thereafter. If there is still any doubt, kindly spare time to see me in my chamber during lunch recess. You will be feasted with the food of your choice.
माननीय चेयरमैन ने बहुत स्पष्ट तरीके से बार बार लोगों को कहा है भाई कि कोई भी आप किसी विषय पर बहस चाहते हैं तो उसके लिए क्या स्पष्ट प्रावधान है वो आप लेकर के आए, बताएं। तो एक तो माननीय चेयरमैन ने बड़ी सुखद और अच्छी पहल की है कि लोगों को होम टास्क पता चले कि जो लोग चाहते हैं बहस वो सिंपल एक आवेदन न दे दें बल्कि किन नियमों के तहत किन कामों के तहत हो। तो उनका जो प्रयास है वो सारे सांसदों को होमवर्क करें, तैयारी करें, क्वालिटी डिबेट की ओर ले जाए। मैं मानता हूं इससे प्रेरित।
But here too, some members repeatedly ignore the rules and rulings of the chairman.
Seven notices that have been given so far by Sri Sanjay Singh are identical. There is no variation in content at all. If there has been a direction issued by me on the first notice, you will appreciate in the remaining 6 that are identical of the first are defiance of the direction. I am sure the House will not approve that we create such kind of a situation that even after there is a direction by the chairman and on the same language, ditto, without any variation, we have these many notices.
The makers of our constitution in establishing Rajya Sabha as the second chamber of our parliament envisaged a distinct role for it in our parliamentary system. At the same time, the House was intended to provide an opportunity to seasoned and eminent persons who have distinguished themselves in diverse fields such as literature, science, art and social service to serve the country. Members of the Rajya Sabha are expected to be more experienced and learned and less influenced by the ebb and flow of popular opinion. As the House of Elders, Rajya Sabha is expected to hold dignified and quality debates on issues of public importance and legislative proposals, and to ensure the accountability of the executive to Parliament. These are just some of the points that Chairman Dhankhar has constantly emphasized in order to fulfill the dreams of our constitution makers.
Dialogue ho, deliberation ho, संविधान निर्माताओं की आत्मा और संविधान की मूल भावना पर कुठाराघात करना हमारा आचरण नहीं हो सकता। आज के दिन क्या हम ऐसा आचरण बाहर देना चाहते हैं कि सदन में हम कुछ भी करेंगे पर सार्थक चर्चा नहीं करेंगे, सीमित व्यवहार नहीं करेंगे? I appeal to the members, permit me to take up the listed business.
With the second part of the 259th session commencing from March 13th, it is expected that the upper house will articulate the aspirations of the people of the country, presumably free of disruptions and chaos.
Well, viewers, that's all we have for you in this edition. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Sansad TV. Goodbye for now from my side.